The Leafs have players returning to the lineup tonight, but not the player returning to the team that a lot of fans hoped they would see tonight. No Doug Gilmour. Still an interesting evening. Here's Joe Bowen and Harry Neal, what they're looking for.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, it will be an interesting evening because these two teams do have a history with one another. So we put our best man on the job to find out what we should be looking for. Best man?
Oh, for the Leafs. Antropov and Nolan have hit it off already, especially with close-in passes to the net. Wesley strong play in his own end. And as I said earlier, McCabe seems to thrive on his new partner. And McGillney with his ability to pass, on the power play especially. For the New York Islanders, Pekka, watch out for him if you're cutting across the middle of the rink. Penalty killing, Bates, 6 of those 10 shorthanded goals in the last 2 seasons have come this year. And Yashin and Paris on the power play.
A lot rides on this game with the Islanders because they're being chased by the New York Rangers. Do you expect this to be as physical a game as it might turn out?
Well, it's a big game for the Islanders, and if they think that helps them win, I think it will be that way. And the Leafs probably have not forgotten the fact that they weren't very good friends last spring.
So we'll keep an eye on people like Steve Webb as well. Let's go back now to Paul.
Joe and Harry, thank you. This was to have been the happy homecoming for Doug Gilmour. It unfortunately will have to wait for at least a month into the postseason. Glenn Wesley, however, makes his Air Canada center debut in a Toronto Maple Leaf uniform. Jonas Höglund, a rare scratch for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Roman Hamrlik of the Isles takes a puck off the forehead in the warm-up pad to leave the ice. He is expected to play, but Toronto's top line will undergo a major tweaking tonight in the form of Alexander McGillney, who is back. Matt Sundin has played with a variety of line mates this season, and he will share top billing along with Alex and Michael Renberg, who each missed parts of last week's road trip to Western Canada. But it's with McGillney that Sundin has played his best hockey at even strength, shorthanded, and on the power play. Experiments to combine the two talents last season didn't fare well, but they've adapted this year, combining for 17 power play goals. Sundin's finishing touch around the net has complemented McGillney's outstanding passing ability. These two have combined for 4 shorthanded goals as well. And Owen Nolan and Nick Antropov have proven to be kindred spirits on the second line. They too have been in an offensive zone, combining for 8 points since being paired up. Darcy Tucker will occupy the other wing tonight. And Tucker will return to active duty tonight alongside of Ed Belfour, vying for his 397th career victory, hoping to become just the 7th goaltender with his 400th career victory later on this season. The Islanders in Game 5 of a 6-game road trip with victories in Ottawa and Edmonton, but losses in Vancouver and Edmonton. Meanwhile, Darcy Tucker returns to active duty tonight. A decision to attack the Ottawa bench cost him 5 games and an opportunity to play in front of family and friends in Alberta last week. But Darcy has always played this game with passion, and Michael Pekka would pay the price in last spring's playoffs. Tonight, the two will meet again for the 3rd time since that accident back on April 26th. Ed Belfour will make his 56th start of the season tonight. He comes off a 23-save effort in Vancouver on Saturday that resulted in his 7th shutout of the season. That's 65 for a career, making him the all-time leader amongst active goaltenders. Belfour is 3rd in the NHL in wins with 32 and save percentage at .922. And the Isles are 8th in the Eastern Conference standings, just 5 up on the Canadiens and Rangers in a bid for that final playoff spot. But games in hand make the Isles a good bet to get back to that dance this spring. The Islanders, like the defense, can boast a 4 front-line defenseman. Janne Niinima's arrival at the deadline see him joining the ranks of Aucoin, Hamrlik, and Janssen. And Janne Niinima's penchant for playing big-time minutes fits perfectly on the Islander blue line. Aucoin and Hamrlik regularly see ice time in the high 20s, and so too does Niinima, who has seen nearly 27 minutes per game this season. The former Oiler has reached the 30-point plateau for the 6th time in his career, and he'll pair up with his former partner in Edmonton tonight in Roman Hamrlik. Rick DiPietro will get the start for New York tonight. He is the highest selected goaltender ever, going 1st overall in 2000. Broadcaster John Davidson had that distinction for the longest time back in 1973. Steve Webb's ability to irritate the opposition is what he does best, and he'll make his first appearance at the Air Canada Center since last spring's postseason. Webb was injured when the Islanders were here last month, but on December 6th, he made his presence felt, knocking Jonas Höglund out of the game. Webb's personality at home often differs from that on the road, and he'll be watched closely by the Maple Leafs tonight. This is the 3rd of 4 meetings between these two teams, and no shortage of emotion and hits in games 1 and 2. The opening faceoff on TSN is next. Molson Canadian Leaf Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson Canadian. Look for your free T-shirt inside big new 28 packs while supplies last. No purchase necessary. Must be legal drinking age.